All rise. Oh yay, oh yay, oh yay. Silence is commanded by this honorable commission. All those having business, draw near.
Thank you. Good morning, and you may be seated at this time. Let me first ask as you be seated that you please, ma'am, please, sir, check all your cell phones, including the commissioners now. Check your cell phones. I've asked you to be seated at this time as we prepare to have our inspiration, our invocation from Bishop Matthew Odom, the pastor of the Temple of Glory Community Church, who will bring that to us this morning. And at the end of his inspiration, when he indicates to us that it's time for prayer, I'm going to ask you to stand. Get the phone. Get the phone. Ask you to stand again for prayer. And following the prayer, Commissioner Hodge will lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance. And Pastor Odom I've known since, I don't know when, a little while, minute. We both come from the same high school, and Temple of Glory is the adult portion of the church that I grew up in, which was the infant stage, which was the Garvin Temple Baptist Church that was formerly Bay Street Baptist Church, and my family has been there since that beginning. So I don't bring a stranger to you. I bring someone that I know real well, and we played even softball against each other and with each other. So we go back a long way. So it is my pleasure to present to you Bishop Matthew M. Odom, the senior pastor of the Temple of Glory Community Church. The podium is yours.
Good morning.
Yeah, pull those in.
Okay,
There you
is
go.
that better? To Chairman Ellis, to all of the members of this great constituency, to you, my brothers and sisters, we are truly, truly humbled and honored to be able to share a few words this morning. I thank God for light. I want to quote Jesus from Matthew 5, something he shares that I think is relevant for us today. In the 14th verse of that 5th chapter, he says, and I quote, "You are the light of the world. A city that is on a hill cannot be hidden, nor do they light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a lampstand, and it gives light to all who are in the house." And then he says this, "Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven." From those three verses, I just want to share with us this morning two things. Number one, how blessed and how privileged we are to be beacons of light. I find it interesting in 1 John chapter 1, John says, God is light. And then Jesus himself in John chapter 8 says he is the light. And then the verses that we just read, Jesus says that we are the light. And we are representative of this light in our daily walk. Light, there's a dichotomy here in that it is both protagonistic and antagonistic. As protagonists, we have an assignment, we have a duty, and that duty is to let our lights shine. It is also antagonistic because the enemy of light is darkness. And I think we all can concur that the state of affairs that we live in now is dark. Politically, things are dark. The social order is dark. We're being challenged educationally. We're being challenged morally, ethically, and how blessed you are to be able to represent God in the earth, to be a proponent of this light, and to be the arch enemy of darkness. When we look at this passage, and I'm just about done, we are told that the disciples, you and I, have an obligation to shine our light in the world. The world is watching us. The world is paying attention to everything that we say and everything that we do. Our assignment then, according to Jesus, is to make sure that we don't put our light under a basket. Remember that we're always on the hill, and remember that the light should shine in the world, on the hill, and in the home. Now, too often, we do all that we can to shine on the hill, but we aren't shining in the home. And charity begins at home. I thank God for having allowed me to serve our community for 40 years as a pastor. And I recognize the nobility that you have to walk in, even as aldermen. And I thank and praise God for each and every one of you. My challenge, even when you think folk aren't watching, they are. Let your light so shine that men may see, one, your good works, and most importantly, you be a light that steers folk to God. Amen?
Amen.
Amen. Let us pray.
May we sing.
Brother Chairman, did I stay within the 5 minutes?
Don't worry about it. It's covered.
Gracious and holy God, our Father, as we assemble this beautiful Friday morning, we do so acknowledging your sovereignty, acknowledging your strength, and acknowledging your kindness. We're here because you deemed it to be. You allowed us to walk in these shoes, and for that and a million other things, we are grateful. Bless now the hearts and the minds of this coalition. Keep the commissioners in a place, oh God, where they can hear, they can share, they can work. Make sure the batteries of their lights are forever charged. Lord God, we thank you for their service to this community, and we humbly ask today that you bless every home and every family that's represented on this dais right now. In all things, we give your name glory, honor, and praise. And we pray this prayer in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you,
Commissioner Hart.
Mr. Chair. To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Is that did we put the certificate up there? Is that the certificate? Yeah. We're not allowed to pay you, but we do give you our certificate of appreciation for coming and sharing those words with us, for giving us the inspiration to carry on and to give us the strength that to endure, knowing that we are working for our Master, who is our Lord and Savior. We thank you, but before I let you go now, I can't let you go without punching over on your left-hand side over there. You gotta tell us who you are.
Everybody, this is my beautiful wife, Donna. We've been married 7 months, 3 days ago. We grew up in the same church, dated for 5 years, and when I went to college, I thought I was grown. married 38 years. I was married 38 years. Her husband passed away in 2019. My wife passed away in 2021. So I reached out one day. Here's what happened.
And I wanted you to hear that because Donna grew up right next door to where I live now. And I've been there 50-plus years, all right? And I watch her grow, I watch him grow. But God has a path carved out for you. It doesn't have anything to do with the distance that's between them. How I watched them date when they were young and then come back now as husband and wife. God bless you and thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
All right. Roll call.
Chester A. Ellis, Chairman.
Present.
Helen L. Stone, District 1, Vice Chairman.
Present.
Dean Kicklighter, District 7, Chairman Pro Tem.
Here.
Melinda Scott Hodge, District 2.
Present.
Bobby Lockett, District 3.
Present.
Patrick K. Farrell, District 4.
Here.
Tanya Milton, District 5.
Present.
Aaron Whiteley, District 6.
Here.
Kenneth A. Adams, District 8.
Present.
All right, at this time, I'm going to call on Commissioner Milton, who shall introduce our youth commissioners.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I am excited to have with us today Ms. Lindsay Richardson, who is a junior at Calvary Day School, and we also have Mikey Burns, who is a senior at Savannah Chatham E-Learning, Savannah Chatham E-Learning Academy. I tell you, they've come a long way since I was in school. We want to welcome you, and we invite you to participate in our meeting this morning. Mikey is interested in flying airplanes. I think that she might try to help Boeing out. And Lindsay is just the perfect person in anything she might choose to do, I think. Is that right? So we're excited to have you both here, and we invite you to participate in any questions you might have. Please raise your hand, ask the questions, pay attention, and learn. Okay? Welcome.
Thank you. Welcome to being here as our youth commissioners today. In a few minutes, we're going to have a whole bunch of your fellow youth commissioners join us in these proceedings. But we thank you, and you have an open invitation to participate with us today. If you have a question about anything that's on the agenda as we go through it, just raise your hand, all right? And if I'm distracted doing something else, somebody will catch it and bring it to my attention that you all want to speak and ask questions. And we invite you to take a part just like all the commissioners will. All right? Good to have you here again. At this time, I must announce that we are getting ready to open the floor for a public hearing on the Chatham County fiscal year 2025 budget, and we're required by law. And let me say now, the way it works is that if you came today to speak on the fiscal 2025 year's budget, I need for you to come up and sign in over on the left-hand side of the manager. You probably have to take his place. Is there anyone who wants to speak on the budget, 2025 year budget? Please, Ms. Kramer's there with the pad. Okay. You got somebody already signed up? Okay. All right. No, you can keep it. And yeah, you keep it, and I'll let you call when the time comes. All right. That having been said, let me ask for a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Properly motion and second that we open up the public hearing on the fiscal year budget for 2025. Are you ready for the question? All in favor, please signify by voting. Two and three. Okay, all right. The public hearing for fiscal year 2025 budget is now open. The first person to speak, Ms. Kramer, who asked to speak,
Gina Taylor.
Ms. Gina Taylor. Please, when you come up, state your name and your address, and then if you represent an organization, all right, you can let us know what that organization is for the records.
Good morning, Gina
morning.
Taylor, and I'm with Greenbrier Children's Center.
And I'm Eric Mason. I'm the Director of Family and Community Service from Greenbrier Children's Center.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Once again, good morning to you all, Chairman Ellis, and to the rest of the members of this great commission. We want to first of all say thank you for your generous support of Greenbrier Children's Center. In its 75th year, we have been blessed to have the partnership of the Chatham County Commission, and we look forward to this continued relationship and building on it, but want to let you all know that we are very appreciative of what you've done in the past and look forward to even greater opportunities to partner with the commission. We are here today because we understand that your receipt of our recommendation specifically for the Family Preservation Program is at a no funding for fiscal year 25. And it is my understanding that this information was passed on to the commission, or the recommendation was passed on to the commission before this new information came forward about the program. The program, Family Preservation, provides services for families who are in dire straits or at risk of losing their children to the Department of Family and Children's Services. And this program has been in operation for over 30 years at Greenbrier Children's Center. Unfortunately, we went through a very challenging time of losing a staff member who had been with us for a number of years, lost her in last year in September. And it's been a very challenging time trying to replace her and get someone on board to move the program forward. We've done a number of things to try to continue the services, and you can hear more about that from Dr. Mason. But we want you to reconsider in some type of contingency plan that you might have when our numbers come in July, reconsider funding the program. The funding from Chatham County government for the family preservation is critical to the services that are provided. And you can hear more about that from Dr. Mason and the kinds of services that we provide. You know, I can just use one example. This week we had a grandmother that showed up at our door with a 10-year-old and then a younger one who was in dire straits. And, you know, even though we may not have a certified person on staff, people don't care about that. When they're in need and when they need help, they don't care about your title or your credentials. They know that they have a need and how can you help us. And so we've been trying to provide those services, and we have information about that, and it will come in our final report in July. But we just want you to reconsider the recommendation that has been made by staff regarding the Family Preservation Program.
So just so everyone would know, those programs include family and group counseling, behavior management, parenting assessments, in-home and center-based education, life skill training, connection to community resources and advocacy, etc. And when we look on the report, when I received this the other day and received the information now, family preservation is very passionate for me. I'm over quite a few different parts of the program. However, family preservation is really one of the ones that are dear to my heart because it gives me the opportunity to do what I've always done for the last 30 years, and that is working with families, working with children. The Family Preservation Program takes what we call a two-gen approach, which means that we not only serve the children, we also serve the parents. So just to give you some numbers so that you can kind of understand where we're coming from, this last quarter, which is the third quarter, when I look at the report, we had a total of 16 new undocumented individuals that we have made contact with within this last quarter. 13 of those are ongoing. When we say ongoing, for example, the grandmother that Mrs. Taylor just spoke about, although we did not have a counselor on board, what we do is we get the information from those individuals and we continue to do follow-ups. Follow-ups are just as important as actually going to a home and sitting in. The only difference is when you go to the home, you get the chance to see the temperature in the home and kind of see a little more visible what's going on. However, follow-ups give us the opportunity to immediately start providing whatever services. So when that grandmother comes, she said, I don't want to have anything to do with this 10-year anymore. I don't want to deal with this child. So our role is now we take the child in and we immediately start working with the child to find out what's the problem. We find that the child has anger management. So we immediately start providing anger management services to that particular individual and develop a relationship with the parent. So now what we do is we call every day to check on that child to make sure what kind of progress is being made. The child was not washing, the child wasn't going to camp. So we've been following up to make sure that all of these things that the child was not doing is now doing because of the services through family preservation. Not only that, but we also providing services for grandmother because she was not financially able to provide resources for the child. So the point we're making here is that these funds are very valuable for the services and the work that we do at Greenbrier. And even with this upcoming fourth quarter, we've already got 28 new undocumented families that we are working with right now. So if you added the 28 plus the 16 for third quarter and the 28 for the fourth quarter that's coming up, you have a total of 44 families that we're working with right now. And we have 2 on-board new counselors that's coming on starting this coming Monday. So when they come on board, they already have a clientele that they can immediately start continuing to work. So my request is for family preservation, please revisit this. Please think about this because the doorbell has not been removed from Greenbrier and families are still coming and asking for these services. Counselors at the school is calling us. Social workers from the school district is calling us because they are short-staffed. So they're coming to Greenbrier asking us to continue to develop those relationships. So we need these funds so that we can continue to provide the services. So we're asking, please, within your hearts, please think about us, reconsider this so that we can continue this 30-plus years of services that we've been providing to continue to do that for the next 30 more plus years. Thank you.
And I also want to add here, I want to say a special thank you to Tara Jennings and her team because they have been very supportive. She was aware of the challenges that we had trying to recruit and hire people. And then there were a couple of times that I said to, okay, we're close to getting somebody, and then it doesn't happen. So I got to the place where I was a little bit afraid to say we have somebody on board, but hoping that the 2 people one of them will begin on this coming Monday, and then the other one on the following Monday. But I just want to say thank you to Tara Jennings and her team for the support that they provided.
All right, any commissioner have any questions? All right, Commissioner Whiteley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And hello, Ms. Taylor, Mr. Mason. Thank you all for being here, and thank you for your work at Greenbrier. I just had 2 quick questions just so I can help myself with context. One, as it relates to the family preservation program, how do you gauge your success? When it comes to us funding something, right, we have to have tangible metrics that we can support spending taxpayers' dollars on. So how do you gauge success in that program?
Well, each family has an individual plan, and based on the goals and objectives that are established within that plan, and if they meet those goals and objectives, then that is what we deem as success.
I understand that. So then how is that equated or communicated to our staff?
Based on the performance measures that are in our contract, one of them is the number of visits that we will make to a family, whether we're providing life skills, counseling services. That's one of the measures that we are measured by. The other one is the number of new families that we see, and then the other one is the number of ongoing families that we see.
Okay. And then my last question, just what are some of your other funding sources? I understand our Blueprint Grant funds your programs, a few of your programs. What are some other sources of funding for your organization?
Are you talking specifically
Greenbrier.
to For Greenbrier or for the program?
For Greenbrier.
For
To include
Greenbrier.
that program, yes, ma'am. To include this program.
Okay. We receive funding from the United Way of the Coastal Empire, City of Savannah. We receive state funding, some pass-through funding like USDA for our early learning centers, Bright from the Start for our early learning centers. Let me see what else. We have federal funding for our runaway and homeless youth program, state funding for that emergency shelter. Also, state funding from DJJ and the Department of Family and Children's Services.
I got you. So with that, I understand you named a few programs tied to some of the funding sources. Are there any additional funding sources for the family preservation program?
The City of Savannah and a pass-through funding through the state.
Okay, I got you. All right, thank you. That was all I had, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah. Commissioner Milton?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You mentioned undocumented. Are these undocumented people that are coming to the country?
Unduplicated is the
Oh,
term. Yes.
okay, okay.
Oh, okay, okay.
Unduplicated, okay.
Yes.
Unduplicated, not undocumented.
Not undocumented.
Yes.
Okay, unduplicated.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Yeah,
Can we be clear? So
Yeah.
unduplicated, can you explain what that means?
Okay, unduplicated would be, let's say for the first quarter, we served 20 people in the program. So the next quarter, we wouldn't count those 20 people. We would count any new people that enter the program.
So just new people.
plus unduplicated means that if there is another entity that's serving that family in that particular area, you don't duplicate that services that they may, like, for instance, Department of Family and Children's Services might be serving that family in that particular area. So when it comes to you, you wouldn't serve them because that would be duplicating the service that's already being.
Well, actually, our referrals for that program, one of the referral sources for that program is the Department of Family.
Right, and if they refer you, that means that it goes beyond what their services
Yes,
provide.
yes.
That's the point I'm trying to get to.
Yes, sir.
All right, got it, Singer? Got it? All right, let me ask you to do this now. What you have to do is you have to, get that information to staff and let staff do all the i's and t's and the d's and the w's, all right? So that we will know, and let them bring to us some recommendation, all right? Because first thing is, we can't sit here and say, yeah, we're gonna give you a penny, because it might not be a penny in the jar.
Yes, sir.
All right? So, but give the information to, the manager and the staff, and let them vet it, and they'll get back to the board, okay?
Okay,
We're in the midst of considering the budget right now,
all right.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
all right?
What's the
Next,
time frame do we have?
yesterday,
Oh, okay. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
all right. Next,
What's that?
Our next speaker is Mr. Al Grandy with Curtis V. Cooper.
and nothing blowing up back there, is it? Okay, please state your name and address and what organization you represent.
I'm Albert Grandy. I'm with Curtis V. Cooper Primary Health Care. We're 106 East Broad. That's our main site. Good morning, Chairman Ellis
Good
and
morning.
other county commissioners again. First, I just want to thank you for this opportunity, just to say thank you for all you do and supporting Curtis V. Cooper for the last 30 years. I'm not here to request any additional funding. I know that may be a surprise because I'm always asked for additional money. However, on behalf of our board, staff, patients, and community at large, just want to say thank you. Thank you for expanding the funding for the past 2 years for our dental services. I guess the foresight of the county manager Kegler and many meetings with Ms. Kramer over the years, and Ms. Jennings, your strategic planner, and for the guys, I've been in Curtis Cooper 13 years, CEO for 11 years, that we able to, in July, recruit 3 more dentists. So we'll have 6, so we're trying to help with that shortage of dental services. So that foresight, that help us to help the people being served. So that's been very, very beneficial. Also, we expanded our partnership with St. Joe Candler, with Mr. Hinchy, so we can guarantee the uninsured women, they can have deliveries and their services be seamless, so we can help reduce some of this mortality rate for women, where they're actually not charging anything for the anesthesia or any of that delivery charge, and we work with us and we do the prenatal services, and also we have Uber services for the women through another funding source. And really we got a little expansion of that today, that we actually provide services for the elderly and pregnant women and women with kids. So therefore they can get to the appointments, and that's a big barrier, even though we got public transportation, but having that service is beneficial. And also just for the things we do, just to utilize our mobile vans, we go to 34 schools, public schools, so that helps overall. We're able to expand behavioral health services. I know I was speaking with the county managers to maybe do other vision services. We do them quarterly now with Prevent Blindness Georgia. We do like a quarterly type of clinic. We provide free examinations. We have really ophthalmologists to come and with free glasses. So that's been beneficial. Then we can expand that. And some of the other things, the reason why I was here to explain that the funding that from the county helps us to go after other grants to bring other monies to the county. One is out there. I've talked to the sheriff that we're going to bid on for the transition of people who come out of jail for the next 90 days to help them to get back to have health care and connect them to other services for reentry. Obviously, that'll drive down the cost and overutilization of the emergency room and all the other contributing factors that comes along with individuals coming out of the penal system and what we call reentry. And what we're going to focus on more this year, so to help with the reduce the cost is the non-emergent 911 calls and the overutilization of ER. That's all I have today, and just to invite, we have a pastor's appreciation luncheon July the 2nd at the Morris Center at 12 o'clock. Whether you're a pastor or not, we're inviting you, so we invite like 40 pastors just to thank them for what they do in the community, because what we do is not enough. Sometimes we just need some prayer to help us, to guide us through what we need to go through.
All right, any commissioners?
Comment, Mr.
All right, let me start with Commissioner Stone first. She was first.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Grandy, I'm very proud of what Curtis Cooper has done, and especially with the dental services that are being offered, because the more you read now about good oral health affects the whole body. And the more preventive medicine we can have, it helps keep individuals out of our emergency departments, out of our hospitals, and gives them a more fulfilled life with better health. So I'm very pleased that you have taken this oral health extremely seriously in helping people that need help with dental services. So thank you very much.
Thank you for your support.
Commissioner Lockett.
Mr. Grandy, let me just take the privilege of, we were in Texas recently, and you made a national presentation on public health, and you made Savannah and Chatham County very proud. I just want to take this privilege and thank you for how well you did that day in Texas. Again, thank you.
Yes, that was awesome, probably around this time last year. I
Was it?
appreciate being invited.
Yeah, you did a great job.
Any other commissioners?
I just want to, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to say, Mr. Grandy, we appreciate your service and the Curtis V. Cooper Board and their service to the community, and just your leadership and really bringing a lot of achievement in every field over there at Curtis V. Cooper. I mean, we're talking about dental, pharmacy. You guys have expanded your services, so thank you for what you do for our community.
Also, we gave away probably 15 million free drugs, and we got a patient assistance program for people need pharmacy services. We won't let any elderly person leave without a script or a mother with a child.
All right, Commissioner Milton.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to say that I'm really proud of how you've gone into other areas and taken your services into areas that are underprivileged. And I think that that makes a big difference, because I know without your services, those people wouldn't have them at all.
We appreciate that. I know we still have a lot of work to do. We're not perfect, and we know we need to do more groundwork to get more in the community. That's what we're going to start with the pastors and get to all the grassroots organizations. But those are the people who need the services the most, not for the people that can get there, but the people who cannot get there for access and not knowing that you have services available.
All right.
And I don't know what you're going to do, how you're going to replace Sandra Collins.
Well, I just keep waiting on that. She just keep going. She come to work on time every morning. She beat me there this morning, so I worry about to cross that bridge when I get there.
We're training replacements right now. We always have somebody in training.
Yes, sir.
All right. Anyone else? All right, thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
Next.
The next person who signed in is LaDoy Kelly Murray. That's a mistake, okay.
Okay.
She's just here as a guest, I believe.
Okay.
And then we have Shelter from the Rain, Maria Gimaldi. Did I get it right? Close? Not very.
That's all of them?
Unless someone else.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning. Probably have to pull that mic down. There you go.
Okay. Good morning. I just wanted to thank everybody up there for all the work that you guys are doing to make our community a better place, and also just for taking the time to consider us this morning. My name is Maria. I am the board chair at Shelter from the Rain, and this is Jennifer, our executive director. And Shelter from the Rain is a 501c3 local nonprofit, and we help provide resources, education, and mentorship to single parents. For those of you that are not familiar, Chatham County has 40% of our households are single parent households, so there's a great need for our service. This morning, I wanted to specifically focus on our mentorship program. We currently have 16 moms in our mentorship program. We just started, so we're very excited for this cohort. What we do is we strategically place our moms with a mentor so that we can help them identify their own personal goals, because everybody has a unique circumstance and their goals may differ. And then we help them to come up with a plan, a very clear plan on how to reach those goals. So they can be in the area of financial literacy, home ownership, education, job training, job skills. And over the course of 6 months, it's a beautiful thing. We get to see moms, not only moms, but their kids as well. Right. And the progression over that 6-month period, it's just tremendous. It takes a village to raise a kid. We all know that. But it also takes a village to raise and support our single parents. Not only mothers, but we also serve single fathers and single grandparents as well. And we just want to take, like I said, I wanted to thank you guys for the time that you've given us this morning and the consideration of our program. It not only affects those moms that are in our program, but also they have children who are watching them. And those changes that are made within their household, the kids are picking up on them. So you're making changes throughout the generations. And also, these moms, they see the value of our program because we have moms that come back and give time to the moms, the new moms that are in our program as well. So it's a full circle. Over the last, since 2016, while we've only served 61 moms, we have touched the lives of many, many, many more than that. So just want to thank you for you guys' time today.
Yeah, and I'll just add very briefly, Maria covered most everything. I do want to thank you all for the recommendation. This is our first year with the mentorship program being recommended. But this program did start in 2016, and this is probably one of our most impactful programs. We have a diaper bank, we have a pantry, we have a support group for single moms, but this is the only program that allows us to work one-on-one with single moms to help them reach goals. And what we found through working with the support group, they need more than just once a month or once a quarter information session. They need weekly follow-ups. Did you sign up to work with a financial advisor? Have you looked at your credit? These are different strategies to decrease debt. Do you understand life insurance and how you can use that to build wealth for your family? Very specific ways that we're teaching them to move forward economically. So we just wanted to present a little bit about that program in detail, and also, again, thank you for the recommendation this year.
Yeah, our ultimate goal is so that our moms move forward and don't need our services anymore.
All right. Commissioner Kicklighter.
Thank you. How many single families have y'all served since 2016?
We've had hundreds of families. Last year, we served, and I pulled that up because I figured that would be a question, 320 families last year. Our annual reports are all on shelterfromtherain.com, but I did pull up. We served 320 families, and that's a combination of the mentorship program, the diaper bank that we have at the front porch. We have diaper stations at Westbrook YMCA, Kim's Cafe downtown, Haversham YMCA, the Empowerment Center in Garden City. So that's a mix of all the services that we provide. So even though we do, like we have 16 moms in the mentorship program now, there are moms going, single moms, single fathers, single grandparents going to like our diaper stations to get household items or baby supplies.
So did you say 16 mothers in it now?
In the program now.
mentorship?
Yes.
Okay, so with the 320, that's not, how many was mentored?
That includes the 10 moms that graduated last year from the mentorship program, but the majority of that number are moms who receive like services from the diaper bank, the pantry, they come to support groups, they receive back to school supplies, all the other resources that we offer as well.
Okay, so since 2016, how many mothers have graduated from?
51.
51?
Mm-hmm.
How many has dropped out?
I would have to look back exactly at that number. Since 2016, I would say less than 10 moms over that number of years. And, you know, that's a great question because we do have moms that drop out because it's a 6-month program. And a lot of our moms will have sudden, because I had one, unfortunately, we had 17 moms in this program when we started in May, and we've had one drop out because there were several issues with housing and like job loss and sometimes grief. And the program that we offer is pretty intense because we have like weekly sessions for financial literacy, personal development, and someone who's struggling with all of those tremendous challenges, it's hard to focus on those things. So we have had moms who had to drop out of the program. We do a pretty intense interview with moms and mentors to assess whether they would be good candidates. And typically moms who have a number of challenges that we don't feel like this would be a good time. So it's not necessarily a no for moms. It could be maybe this will be a better program for you next year.
Right.
But we also have rock star moms who do have significant challenges. Like for instance, we have one in the program now who is living in a shelter, did not have a job, currently pregnant, has a toddler, but she's doing amazing. So sometimes it's just based on the personality and will of a mom, which again, that's rare for all of those circumstances to be on the table and they prosper. But
Do y'all have require any type of minimal hours for the parents to actually have to sit down and for consultations before they can receive the like free diapers and all that from y'all?
the diaper bank, no, we don't. That's open to the public. That one does not have as many requirements. We usually, the services that are open to children in need, we do not. The only thing they have to do is verify the child, and we provide services. And that's to almost any family in need.
And all of that is wonderful, but that may be something y'all could look at, because I know there's other, so I really admire what you're doing with the consultations and actually helping teach people that maybe didn't get an example when they were kids. And but I know there's, when we were talking duplication of services earlier, I know there's federal programs and everything that helps with diapers and the food and everything, and that's great. But possibly I would I would recommend that you consider actually putting some type of minimal requirement before somebody can just walk in and receive free items. And that way, they'll have to hear something from you and,
Right, and we do have, so they're only allowed to request baby supplies or household items once a month. The requirement, not for the mentorship program, but the requirement for that is that they attend support groups that we
Right.
have monthly. So they are on some level hearing from us.
Yeah.
The true impact, like I mentioned before, is typically through programs like the mentorship, because we're following
Right.
up.
okay, I gotta back up.
Yeah,
Not
no
to sound
problem.
unsympathetic.
Right, I understand.
There should be, when the minimal hours are required, it should be based off of, now if someone is jobless
Right.
and they're coming in getting it, they should be required.
Right.
If they're actually working, they might not have the hours to put in and keep the kids and everything else, so just let you know,
Yeah.
I'm not saying everybody has to come spend days, because I know people are trying to work and,
Right, and our support groups, like I said, are monthly, and it's not a big requirement, it's like 2 hours, and that's
Yeah.
once a month. So we do have things in place to make sure moms are more consistent, or fathers. Like our support group this Saturday is open to the public. You can go and sign up for that now. It's focused on resources for parents who have children with autism. Every month, we're focused on very specific things. So it's not for lack of offering it. The reason why we do not necessarily penalize families for not coming to those is because it's babies. And there are not, even though there are federal programs, there are not a lot of resources here for families. There's one other diaper bank, and they work B2B. They do not give out diapers to families. Like, I want to say we're the only organization in Savannah that offers resources to single-parent families, including diapers,
Right.
baby supplies, household items to families. So, I mean, if there are other resources that operate like ours, I'm like more than willing to refer parents to
and
those as well.
again, I think y'all, what you're doing is wonderful. I just think some people would almost need to be nudged into the program, because unless they hear something from the program, they're not going to know what they're missing, and the info y'all would provide, and then.
Absolutely, and I think, our partnerships with like the Front Porch, I don't know if you're familiar with the Front Porch, when they go in to receive diapers, like now, I could have a mom going to pick up diapers now, they're connected with our partners at the Front Porch. We'll talk about not only things that we do, like our support group this weekend, but the services that they offer too.
Right.
So that's a strategic partnership to make sure a lot of the families that we serve also have access to.
Maybe give them some washable diapers until they start coming to the classes. Exactly.
And we've had people try to donate those,
Hey.
and our parents do not want those. But yeah, maybe for people who don't come to support
Then you're not
groups,
being
we
cruel
can-
to the child.
Right.
But the parent has to work, and maybe they'll
Right.
come to a class to get the disposables.
I mean, that's a good idea. Maybe we could do washable diapers for those who don't come to the support.
Yeah, I mean, they
Let me make
absolutely
sure-
work.
Let me make sure I put your name on our website for that.
Yeah,
We have a new change
hey,
recommended by.
and in this country, we were supposed to receive life, liberty, and justice, but nobody said easy.
Right,
So
absolutely.
They can
And-
wash a diaper until.
And I
until, you know.
totally understand. And like, we try to make sure we hold them accountable so they can grow, and we're not enabling behaviors that are not productive for the family. It is very hard for me not to give baby supplies to children in need, but we have people on our team who help us put in certain guidelines. They work with DFAC, so they have a totally different filter than I do. But 'cause I
Y'all
just
doing
have a-
great. I'm gonna shut up because I hear my ex-wife now saying, "You wash a diaper." So I'm done. I'm done. So thank y'all.
Absolutely.
Great job.
All right, let me go to Youth Commission first. I saw that.
Yeah, just tap it like.
Hi. I was just wondering, do you ever think you could do like a mentorship for like broken parents? Like not like relationship therapy, but like how to navigate through like a broken parenthood.
A broken parenthood.
Like
Can you
a-
define that a little bit for me?
Like a toxic environment, or what, like not really just like in the relationship, but like around the children, like if they don't know how to navigate like parenthood. And
Oh, like
all this.
parenting courses, or like mental health challenges?
Yeah, like all of the above.
Okay, so I feel like we address that within the mentorship program too. We do mental health assessments for moms. I feel like with every situation, there's like some level of brokenness. because if you become a single parent, typically you did not plan to become a single parent. So there's a little bit of tragedy within each story of the moms that we serve. I mean, even speaking for myself, like I started this organization because I was a mom at 16. There are broken pieces, I feel like, in all of us. We typically address that through our mental health assessments, the mental health services that we offer to parents. And then we do have some partnerships where if moms need additional like parenting resources, that we can connect them with those partners as well. But we're always looking for more resources to help them in that area. That's a great question because that element of a single parent's life strongly affects the children that they're raising. If you've ever lived with someone who's chronically depressed or dealing with major issues, it changes the quality of life for everyone living in that home. And children don't have a choice. Like, they have to live there. They cannot go anywhere. So we do try our best to look at all the levels of wholeness for parents, whether that's financially, physically, mentally, all the different levels. And a lot of that is within the mentorship program. And like I said, they have someone checking in weekly to see if they're okay. So it's a great question.
Okay, got him. Commissioner Whiteley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to thank you all for what you do. My business is a referral partner, and I have seen the work you all do. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I've seen it in the parents and in the kids. As the son of a single parent, I understand it's programs like you all who really help bridge huge gaps. So thank you for what you're doing, and I'm glad to see that y'all are on our funding list this year.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Commissioner Milton.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Jennifer just mentioned that she was a single parent at 16. Would you tell them what that baby's doing now?
It's so funny because people care more about him than what's going on with me, which I love it.
But
my
I'm
son,
just an example of
Right,
how you're talking
absolutely.
about how the mental ability that you have to have, what state of mind you have to go through that process.
Absolutely. So like I said, I was 16, but I was very fortunate. My father was a pastor. My mom was a teacher. I grew up in Warren, Ohio. They moved me back here to go to SCAD. So like a lot of my experiences as a teen mom were not your standard experiences. I was really blessed and fortunate, and I was in a position where I knew once I got on my feet, none of that was in vain. And I knew that God had called me to give back to other moms. So my son is 22 now, and he just graduated from college, Columbus State University, Swope School of Music. He plays the viola. He's actually in New York as we speak. So, amazing opportunities from him, or for him and for myself, but it took a village. Even when I moved here, several people at my church, I was at Savannah Church of God, I'm at Kingdom Life now, my church, the community, we would have not been able to do the things that we've been able to do without a village. I was at SCAD, but I had no money, taking care of my son. So, there were people that helped me when my car broke down, paid for us to go eat with them after church. So, I know what it feels like not to have it, but to have people look out for you and make sure you're included and you're okay. And I had two parents that told me I could do it. They were like, you have a baby now, but you can still do all the things you want to do. It's just going to be harder. And a lot of the moms that we serve, they don't have someone telling them they can do it. They have them saying the opposite. So our organization pours in, lets them know that this is not the end of your life. This is a part of your story, but this is not the end. And you can, if you work hard, do all the things you want to do. And setting that example for children, like I said, for my son, he saw a community help us. He never let our financial situation or our story limit him. He's been all over the world, like other countries, France, Belize, doing the things that he loves. So there is great power when a community surrounds a family and believes in them. So thank you for bringing that up. I love my baby.
I just follow him, that's all.
Anything else? Anything else? All right, thank you all.
Okay, thank you so much.
Does that exhaust our list? That exhausts the list? All right, at this time, I will entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Probably motion to second that the public hearing be closed. Are you ready for the question? Please cast your votes. All right. We move on now, and at this time, we're going to turn into special proclamation presentations, the 2024 Chatham County Youth Commission's graduation. We're not that sophisticated. Morning, Mr. Mayor.
Good morning,
Good morning.
Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen of this honorable commission. You've had the opportunity to receive testimony for those that are seeking funding or seeking additional funding, seeking support for the things that they do. Certainly, I know that these are very weighty and very consequential decisions that you have to make. Today, I'm not asking for a lot more money, but I want to show you and present to you the dividends, the return on investment that not only have you made, but certainly your predecessors have made over the last now 33 years. Today, we celebrate the remarkable achievements of 11 amazing young people who came to us as shy and unsure 10th and 11th graders, and now they leave us ready to take on, and in some cases, take over the world. These were the second half of our COVID babies. As you know, we have a rigorous process during the summer in which young people vie and work their way onto the Youth Commission. Well, when these young people came on, many of them, we weren't in person, we were virtual, and so they came in under some very unusual circumstances. They worked very hard, and we're just so excited to present them today. This is not an easy feat. These are young people who not only excelled in their community, they also excelled in school. Out of our 11, 3 of them are salutatorians. And so we're very excited. You can clap for that. 3 of them. And all of them have been accepted to college, and they are ready to make their way. On another note, I've been blessed to be around long enough where now we have children of youth commissioners that are serving on the Youth Commission. Further, we have seen now graduations of those receiving doctorate degrees, those receiving master's degrees. And now I've officiated a couple of weddings of young youth commissioners that are now old youth commissioners, older folks, and now babies and all of these things. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how you build a community. You build a community not always in bricks and mortar, not always in magnificent structures, not always in roads and bridges. It is about the lives in which you're able to touch. And this organization, this commission, has found a unique way to do it. As a matter of fact, it is a national best practice. We now have youth commissions all over the country. Certainly many of you know that. And that many of them acknowledge the Chatham County Youth Commission as not only being the oldest now operating and longest operating in the country, but being the gold standard. We still have organizations, we have county commissions from across the country, we have city councils from across the nation that still call us and say, how did you do it? And certainly I will tell you, we do it first with love. And we do it in the belief that we have to be able to invest in young people on the front end so we're not investing in them in the back end. So, Mr. Chairman, I thank you so much and members of the commission for your continued support. It's important when these young people are able to sit there and see government up front. It's important when you acknowledge them and they have a chance to ask their questions and be seen and be felt and be heard. Because we recognize these seats are just temporary encampments for all of us. There'll be a day in which we'll move off the scene and we'll need qualified, prepared young people to take our spaces. I certainly thank County Manager Mr. Kegler, who was the first, preceded me as being the director of the Youth Commission many years ago, and Assistant County Manager Linda Kramer, Denise Fields of the County Manager's Office that we love. Love with a big Love, for all the work she does for us, members of the Human Resources Department, and folks just throughout the county to continue to support the endeavors we have for these young people. We know that it is easier to build strong children than fix broken men. And so for us, we're interested in building strong young people. I thank my team. Engaging very energetic young people is very difficult, very challenging. It takes a lot of time, but they do it. And so Ms. Brown, Octavia Brown, if you stand. I'll give her a round of applause. Ms. Brown and Ms. Linda Gordon, Ms. Tamika Tribble, Ms. Willie Mae Knight, and Mrs. Adele Biles Oliver. So it's challenging taking care of other people's children. And so they help us in mothering and certainly caring for these young people. And most importantly, we thank our partners in progress, as we call them, parents. It was said earlier that it takes a village to raise a child. No one expected parents to do it by themselves, but they do it with their community, they do it with their government. So we thank them, the moms, the dads, the grandparents, aunts and uncles, the big mamas, the papas, pop-pops, and all of them who've worked with us throughout the years, particularly driving these young people around and getting them where they have to be and picking them up on time. So with all of our parents and those that are here with our young people, please stand. Thank you all so much. So, Mr. Chairman, if you would join us as we salute our graduates, and we're going to ask staff to come and help me, please. Madam Clerk. So Ms. Bashir McNutt is our chair. She has served the distinction of serving for 2 terms as chair, which is kind of unusual for us. She graduated from Savannah Early College, and she is going to Kennesaw State. Is her mom here? Is her mom? Come on up, Mom. You earned this picture. Come on.
She can also do poetry.
Yes, she can. Holden Hanno also graduated from Savannah Early College. He graduated early, and he is going to the University of Georgia. Parents here? Come on, yeah. Y'all are in, parents, you're in the picture. Thank you. Amira Ali was our secretary. She graduated from Johnson High School, and she is going to Oglethorpe University. Thank you. Commissioner Kicklight, you'd be happy to know that Daniel Winters graduated from Benedictine. He was a salutatorian, and he is going to Georgia Tech. Noah Harris is a 3-term youth commissioner. She graduated from Johnson High School, and she's going to Spelman College. You just your dad, not mom?
We're going on vacation.
All right.
So,
You can come, it's all right. Oh, come on, little sister, come on. Come on, Leah. This is Youth Commissioner class of 2040 something.
whatever it is. Babes.
Camoris Winton was the salutatorian at Beach High School, and she is going to Georgia Southern. Ethan Yancey graduated from New Hampstead. He could not be with us today, but he's at Georgia State right now, so let's give him a round of applause. Erica Butler was a salutatorian at Savannah High School, and she is going to Albany State University. Jocelyn A. Daniels graduated from Windsor Forest High School, and she will be joining Erica at Albany State. Julia Ronning could not be with us today, but she graduated from Savannah Christian, and she is at the University of Georgia. And Aiden Wigfall could not be with us. He graduated from Savannah High School, and he is going to Georgia State University. Yeah, yes, ma'am, absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted the opportunity to, for our young people, obviously, this is a very happy day, but as I learned after these ceremonies, often quite bittersweet as well. Again, we're very proud of our chairwoman. We think she's like phenomenal. She's going to do great things. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Bashia McNutt.
Good morning, Chairman Ellis and Board of Chatham County Commissioners. I am Bashia McNutt, as Mr. Johnson mentioned before, a graduate of Savannah Early College High School, and I am blessed to stand before you all here again today. Before I do begin, I would like to thank Dr. Priscilla Thomas, our founder and former county commissioner, for her fulfilled dreams in constructing and organizing the Chatham County Youth Commission. Like I always say, we would not be here without her today. Her step was definitely a leap for mankind. I would also like to thank the Board of Chatham County Commissioners, all of our wonderful parents and supportive guardians, and our advisors, because we are definitely, and when I say we, the Youth Commission, a consortium of personalities, but I guess we're not that bad because they keep on coming back. I would like to thank Mr. Johnson for taking time out of his busy schedule to hang with the youth, fellowship, and engage in a friendly exchange of, if you don't know, he gives us words of wisdom in exchange for colloquial phrases. Yes, he got that jive from us. I digress. What did you learn? Is a question we get asked at the end of any tour or event or really anything that we do together. And it always makes me wonder, how can a question be so simple yet so sophisticated at the same time? How do you summarize such a tremendous experience? I'm sure that everyone behind me can attest to this, but in the most non-narcissistic way, I learned about myself, which is great because the world's change is dependent upon the people who change for it. They learned about themselves. We learned about each other and managed to successfully coexist despite varying beliefs and behaviors. Now that is a true definition of evolution. We learned history, learned the necessity of understanding the legacies of the individuals who came before us, because it is impossible to understand who you are if you neglect the people who came before you. We learned the purpose of community, the power of multiple intelligence. I enjoy being in this room because it is here that I have grown. It is here that we have grown together. We learned how to communicate, that our voices matter, that if you learn nothing from an experience, then it was nothing more than a waste of time. And yes, we were touched by the infamous creature that managed to creep through our front doors, the coronavirus, which is definitely worth mentioning, but we are still here today. And as you all may guess, we learned from that too. But that's what you do when you're a youth commissioner. You adopt and you keep pushing. You adopt and you keep pushing. You adopt, and when you think you can't push anymore, you just continue to push until what it is that you have set out to do is done. To the youth commissioners who will remain once we are gone, what will you learn? Know that this is an investment in which you must put in just as much, if not more, than you expect to get out. The future of this organization lies in your hands, and your future lies in your hands. Graduates, I encourage you to think of what's been said as more than just a soliloquy. Remember what you learned here. Remember where you had your start. Remember who you were when you first entered this building, and never lose sight of who you are becoming. I will end with this quote as we matriculate and transition into the world. Remember, you are the character in the narrative that you created. You are the author of your own story. I love you all, and I wish nothing but the best. May we all continue to rise. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Our Vice Chair, Mr. Holden Hanno.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'd like to begin by thanking you for the opportunity to be on the Youth Commission, because I know that the Youth Commission could not exist without all the support that you all have provided over the years and given us all a chance to do some amazing things in the community and the country. I'd also like to take a second to thank Mr. Johnson for his support and the countless hours that he's put into helping the Youth Commissioners grow and helping us become the best versions of ourselves throughout high school. And I'd like to take a moment to reflect on some of my favorite moments from throughout the Youth Commission. We've had the chance to meet youth commissioners from all over the country. We've met youth commissioners from as far away as Washington and Kansas and all over during yearly events and other opportunities where we are the oldest youth commission in the country and everyone knows about us and has learned from us. We've also had the chance to meet congressmen, senators, and hear from our very own vice president, which for me, I love politics and I love government, and it's a great opportunity, and I've loved every second of getting to meet people. And I've had a great chance to meet so many of you commissioners and learn from you and talk to you. And I also have loved to bother the mayor about different political and governmental affairs for countless hours. And it's sparked a personal passion for me for government and a career I hope to pursue someday in both Savannah and local government as well as state government. So I'd like to thank you, and I'd like to thank everyone here today for just the support that the Youth Commission's had over the years and everything that you've done for us and done for all the youth in the community. So thank you, and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Holden Handel for President 2039. Watch. keep. I have to call my friend Mayor Kelly Gertz in Athens, let him know that Holden is a mayor stalker. He shows up at public meetings. That's what he does for fun. But again, these are the type of young people that you're raising to be able to take over the world. Mr. Chairman, we have two brief awards that we want to present that are opportunities to show appreciation to individuals that have made a significant difference. So the Beverly M. Whitehead Award. Mm-hmm.
The Beverly M. Whitehead Award is named in honor of Chatham County's first Human Resources Director who passed away in 1998. Mrs. Whitehead was the driving force behind Dr. Thomas's vision of the Youth Commission. This award recognizes organizations and/or individuals who provided exceptional service to youth through the Chatham County Youth Commission.
This year, we recognize the need for peace in our community and those who work to achieve it. The Chatham County Youth Commission has a special partnership with the Mediation Center of Savannah to train high school students to be peer mediators. Youth commissioners attend a 2-day training to become certified youth mediators during our candidacy period. As youth mediators, we work in schools to diffuse conflicts among our peers and work with teachers, counselors, administrators, and community leaders to create a more peaceful community. We have the pleasure of working with these wonderful professionals for many years, and we appreciate them for their support of the Chatham County Youth Commission. It is our pleasure to present the 2024 Beverly M. Whitehead Award to the Mediation Center of Savannah.
And then finally, the most anticipated award in Youth Commission land, the Brandon Brown Award.
The Brandon Brown Youth Commissioner of the Year Award is named in honor of a young man who exemplified the core values of the Youth Commission. I am told that Brandon was a unique person who loved the Youth Commission and was active even after his graduation. When Brandon passed away in 2004 at the age of 21, his passing left a void that still exists today. This award is presented to the Youth Commissioner who during this year has exhibited the 6 core values of Youth Commission: respect, success, influence, integrity, and leadership.
This year's recipient is a first-year member of our organization, and she holds a unique distinction, but she is totally all in. She works hard, we can always count on her to be present at our events, and she always has a good attitude and positive spirit. It is my pleasure to present the 2024 Brandon Brown Youth Commissioner Award of the Year to Aubriana Rez.
Thank you all, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. I will tell you they're going back to school, but they're not. I'm sure parents have to go back to work, and I guess they're going wherever they're going. So thank you all so much for your
Can
support.
I ask Mr. Johnson, or Mayor?
Sure.
A question?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, Brandon Brown's mother.
Yes.
She's still with us? Or?
Yes, Sadie Brown is.
Sadie.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Sadie Brown.
Sadie Brown.
She's, for many years, she would show up and
Right.
shine a bright light in here with her description of her son and
Yes.
would bring, I believe it was a Tigger.
Yes.
Because he
you
loved,
remember? Yes.
Yeah, he loved Tigger, and I'm glad to know she's still around. I
Yeah,
was just curious.
his moniker was the Tigger.
Mhm.
So he called himself Little Tigger. And this is 20 years this year that we lost Brandon on January 31st, and again, a day I'll never forget. But thank you so much.
Please send him a love.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, let all of them come in.
Yes.
Commissioner Milton needs to get a picture so she can put it in the Tribune. Y'all come up front. Come up this way and face the audience. There you go. Family members, if you all want to get pictures now too, go right ahead.
That's all.
still a minute.
I know, that only gives 2 minutes for any concerns.
They really don't.
I'm just saying,
Thank you so much.
Thank you all. And thank you for what you do with our youth commissioners. And one day that title have to turn from youth commissioner to commissioner. Holden kind of look for Holden being the chairman.
Whose district do you live in?
That's right.
Whose district do you live in?
I live in Commissioner Hodges' district.
All right, just when he calls, don't even run against the kid.
Let me say, Holden was very instrumental in my campaign, and that's the beauty of this program. What
Yeah.
it does is, when you expose talented children to the world, sometimes they want to go and work in the world. But this program helps us to retain some amazing talent.
It
So
does.
I love it. Thank you, Holden, and
Absolutely.
congratulations,
Thank you all.
Great job,
Amir.
all you guys.
Thank all of you.
Congratulations.
Right? And the mayor taking y'all to the pizza party now. All right. Give us a few seconds. Some folks want to exit. All right, we didn't have any chairman's items nor commissioner items. The next, no table items. Next items for individual action. Appoint Al J. Scott to the Savannah Economic Development Authority. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Been properly motioned by Commissioner Kicklighter, second by Commissioner Moore. Ready for the question? Please cast your votes.
Nope.
All right, we got everybody? Okay, yeah, 2 of them gone. All right. Recommend approval of the following budget amendments and transfer. In the general fund, appropriate $150,000 fund balance to the voter registration professional services. 2, on the special service district fund, appropriate $1,947,226 fund balance to increase transfer out to the fire district fund. 3, in the multiple grant fund, A, increase revenue and expenditures, $81,360 for the hazardous migration grant program. B, increase revenue and expenditures, $50,000 for emergency management performance grant. 4, in the capital improvement program fund, A, transfer $12,561 from contingency to the Salt Creek Boat Ramp Improvement Project. Excuse me. B, transfer $5,355,305 from contingency to increase transfer out to the Fire District Fund. 5, in the Fire District Fund, increase revenues $1,947,226 for transfer into the Special Service District Fund. B, increase revenues $5,355,305 for transfer in from the Capital Improvement Program Fund. C, increase vehicle and equipment $4,687,336, and B, increase operating expenses $2,615,197. Is there a motion?
so moved, Mr. Chairman.
Properly motion is second. Are you ready for the question? Please cast your votes. All right. All right, we go to the action calendar. No one desired anything to be taken off or removed, so therefore may I have a motion to accept the action calendar's entirety?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept the action calendar in its entirety.
Properly motion is second that the action calendar be accepted in its entirety. Are you ready for the question? Please cast your votes. All right. Going to first readers, we have, excuse me. Yes.
like to have a first reading. Commissioner Stone may have some comments about that. As explained to me was the sign that we had the photograph of this morning. That was the first sign that the MPC put up to do the zoning, begin the zoning process. He has got a sign that is going up today that includes the correct zoning and gonna put a note on there that the zoning is for BN, but the MPC is recommending B1, and apparently there's an agreement that to take the B1 zoning. So he felt it would be appropriate to go forward with it, but that's purely in the discretion of this board.
Okay.
All right, you talking about the first one?
Yeah.
First reading.
That we were
All
gonna
right,
take?
All right, let's do this. Let's do this. So we can get on the right foot and get it together. Do you have objections to it being first reading?
Mr. Chairman, I just would like for the people in the neighborhood and citizens that ride by ample time to see this change, this proposed change, because what is being proposed now is an agricultural zoning, and, you know, this just gives 2 weeks for any questions or concerns, and that's been posted the way it is right now for a couple of months or so. So I'm just concerned that, are we giving everybody the opportunity to see the new proposed zoning and what was agreed upon by the MPC? Because I know the constituent that contacted me was convinced that it was going to be an agricultural zoning because that's what's currently on the sign.
All right. Let me get to my question. All right. Are you satisfied with it being tabled and doing it again, doing first reading again?
Yes,
Or
in
would
2
you like-
weeks.
All right.
And that would give a month for any questions or concerns,
All right.
since it has already been like that for 2 months.
Do we have any commissioners who object to that? All right, so we're gonna still let it be tabled, all right?
That's fine.
That's what we need to
everybody
get.
know what's
All right.
going on.
So that table, and you can let the attorney and everybody else know, and then we'll get the proper signage out so that they have time, because the reason for that is because in the first reading, we always have to have a public comment period. And so the people who raised the objection this morning or raised a concern this morning would not have had the opportunity to get here to do that, all right? Let's go on to number 2. First reader, the petitioner Elizabeth, and how you say the last name? Anna, is requesting to designate the Jacob Fox Gould House as a local historic property designation located at 1253 Little Neck Road, HD-0224-000451, PIN number 110260203-7Y, Zone R-A. The CCHPC recommends approval. That's District 5, first reading. Is there anyone who wants to make a public comment? Is there anyone who wants to make a public comment? Is there anyone who wants to make a public comment? All right, so we don't even have to go there, okay? All right. Request board approval of the 2024 revenue ordinance. Is there anyone who wanted to make public comment? Anyone who wanted to make public comment? Anyone who want to make public comment? All right, we'll move on from there, all right? Let's go to second readers now, and in our second reader, we have to have public hearing, all right?
Mr. Chairman, the petitioner has sent in an email requesting that be pulled from the agenda this time.
All right, petition 1?
Yes.
All right, so we're going, all right, so let's go to petition 2, okay? That's been pulled by request, all right? Now, is there anyone here who are doing the public, open, yeah.
For
We got to
item-
do a public hearing.
Yeah, for item
That's what I'm
number
trying to
2,
get.
yes.
For item number 2.
Yeah.
All right, it's been properly motion and second that we open up a public hearing. Are you ready for the question? Please cast your votes. All right, let me, the public hearing is now open. Let me ask now, is there anyone here, including the petitioner or any who opposes here who wants to speak during the public hearing? Please come up and sign with the manager. Anyone here during the public hearing? All right, all right, all right. Let me ask Commissioner Shea, is there something you want to say during this period? Greetings. Okay. All right. With that having been done, let me have a motion to close the public hearing. Properly motion to second that the public hearing be closed. Are you ready for the question? Please cast your votes. Waiting on 5. All right. All right. The petitioner, Patrick Shea, for Live Oak Living LLC, is proposing a rezoning map amendment and acceptance of a GDP General Development Plan at 5011 5103 Girard Avenue. Request to rezone from P-R-3-6 multifamily residence 6 units per acre to a PUD-M planned unit development multifamily mixed resident development including townhouses, flats, and apartments. MPC file number Z 0324000459, map pin 107890116, 107890120, District 5, MPC recommends approval. Is there a motion?
Second.
Properly motion and second that it be approved. Are you ready for the question? Please cast your votes. All right. Board approval of a restated and amended Chatham County Employment Retirement Plan effective January 1, all right, 2024. And I understand that the attorney is here.
He is on Zoom, Ed Emerson.
He's on Zoom?
Yes.
All right, so we're bringing him up?
For what?
The retirement plan.
Why don't we do that?
All right. Mr. Emerson, is there something you want to say at this point?
No, sir, I was just here in case there's any questions on this reading or any questions on the restatement. In general, it is to update the plan for all prior amendments and law changes that are applicable to the plan and to bring the plan in compliance with its operations.
All right, any questions from any commissioner? All right.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Properly motion and second that we approve the amendments to the Chatham County Employees Retirement Plan. Are you ready for the question? Please cast your votes. All right, thank you, Mrs. Emerson. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, at that point, there is Mr. Manager information.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. At your desk there, you should have just some updates from the Chatham County Health Department. And I want to make sure we bring those to your attention just in case you have any questions from any of your constituents.
All right. That's it? All right, anything from any commissioner? None, hearing none. There is a need for us to go into executive session for acquisition, personnel, and litigation. All right.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion, we recess to executive session for those points you stated.
Second.
Properly motion and second that we recess from this and go into executive session. Are you ready for the question? Please cast your votes. Cast your votes before you move. All right, vote saying this session is recessed.
Thank you.